Good afternoon and welcome to another LinkedIn live event. My name is Mark Bruins, coming live from you. Just checking that all the systems are up and running. Looking forward to a very exciting session today on LinkedIn. I've been live. I go live every month, sometimes twice a month. And this one is quite an interesting one because basically we had a poll. And based on the reactions to the poll, I've kind of figured out with my valued assistant, Petro, what everybody wants to know in these sessions, what everybody wants to learn. So this poll had some interesting results, and that's why we created this live event. We've also got a very exciting event at the end of the month. Marcus Urukang, who is our mentor and career strategist in Canada, he will be joining me for a live event, and 𝐿𝗵𝘁, who is our mentor and career strategist in South Africa, will be joining me. So it's the three of us mentors coming up on LinkedIn, telling you what all our programs are like, what we do for everybody. You can ask questions with anybody. So that's going to be really good. Then on the 30th of July, we've got a very exciting guest. We have got Mark Cross. Now, Mark Cross, he's a cybersecurity expert. He's very highly ranked. Actually, last year, he won the BA of the Year award, which is an annual thing from 𝐁𝐵𝘁 in the United Kingdom. 𝐁𝐵𝘁, they do the BCS curriculum training for the British Computer Society, the International Diploma in Business Analysis. So we're really excited to have Mark Cross come on. That's Thursday. That's the 30th of July. That's in just over a month from now. And Mark is going to be talking about cybersecurity. So he's going to launch the third version of his 3 Steps Left mentoring program, training program. There's 3 different levels: beginner, intermediate, advanced. He's coming on and he's going to chat to us everything about cybersecurity for business analysis. So as you know, once you're a business analyst and you have basically decided on your industry and your domain and your job title and your job type, and you've upskilled in AI and things like that, and you're a generalist business analyst, then what you need to do is determine your area of speciality or your niche. And one of those that is a really big, exciting one is cybersecurity. As you know, the people in the United Kingdom, Jaguar Land Rover or JLR, they've been hacked. I think they lost over £2 billion. Marks and Spencer have been hacked, and the Co-op and Harrods, or the Harrods store, all these companies are getting hacked. So we have got these digital transformation programs where large and medium-sized companies in the United Kingdom are now, migrating and pivoting and making sure that they're safe and secure against cyber threats and things like that. So it's a really, really big area coming, and we're so pleased to have Mark Cross coming on for that event as well. So without further ado, let's get started. This is going to be 45 minutes today, as they all are, 12:15 till 1 o'clock. And then there is a 15-minute Q&A session afterwards. So as you go now, you can start putting in comments. So let me just have a look here, and if I can see the comment section. Where is the comments? They've redone this front end. There we go, comments. So maybe one of you would like to comment and just say who is interested in cybersecurity as a niche or a possible field of expertise or speciality. Just put yes in the comments so that I know everybody is here and everybody's awake, and we can test all our systems just to make sure that I am online and that I don't talk for 45 minutes and nobody is listening or watching. So without further ado, let's get stuck straight in. So this is a career breakthrough session. So let's have a look what we're going to cover. So basically we had a poll on LinkedIn, and it said, your biggest career challenges. What are you facing as a career challenge as a business analyst? So why do you remain stuck? Was quite a popular one. Why people remain stuck in their current career, in their current job, in their current role. Okay, we have got somebody who said yes. Thanks very much, Basil. I'm glad you're interested and nice to have you on board. So we know everything is working. You can all hear me and you can all see me. All right. The next one is basically what successful business analysts do differently. So you can either make a big success out of your career and your life or not. You can just go to work, pay the bills, and that's it. But some people really want to be impactful in their business. And then I'm going to offer you practical strategies that you can accelerate or advance your career very quickly. And then Q&A at the end. We also have a fantastic special offer for those of you that remain till the end. So it's a huge discount. So just to keep you interested in that as well. All right, so let's have a look at the poll. This is what the poll said. Are you facing any challenges? So breaking into contracting. So we only had 23 votes. That was not that fantastic. We usually receive 50 or 60 or 70 votes. But basically breaking into contracting. So where I help business analysts. Let's see if I can do this and you can still see the poll. Not really. So what I help is in my mentoring, I don't teach business analysis, right? We do a gap analysis. We do an as is current state. Where are you now in your life and your career? And then we do a to be. Where do you want to be in the future in 1 year from now? And then we do a gap analysis. We do the action steps. We see how we take you there. There's two things that you need as a business analyst. Number one, theoretical knowledge. Number two, practical experience. So if we notice that you don't have enough of both, so if you've got 5 years experience or more as a business analyst, you really don't need to go and study the theory. But if you're a new starter and you've only got a year or 2 or 3 or 5 years experience, then ideally you would go and learn the theory in class. Two options, the BCS International Diploma if you're in the United Kingdom, or the CBAP from the IIBA if you're outside the United Kingdom. Both of them are internationally recognized. Both of them are quite serious. So I don't teach business analysis. Basically, what I do is I help my mentees pivot a couple of times. So to pivot from business analyst to senior business analyst, and then pivot from senior to lead business analyst for those people that want to manage and go into management, and have more power in the company and have more say in the company, and people listen to you because you're a manager, but then you also manage other business analysts. So that's one way we pivot. We also pivot from permanent into consulting, or consulting or permanent into contracting. So that's a whole different kettle of fish, as one of my students, Taku, says. So that's where we help pivot as well. We also help pivot from one industry to another industry of choice. So if you want to work in financial services or banking, and then we also help you pivot from public sector to private sector. If you've only been working in the public sector, how do you go into the private sector? Then we pivot you into somebody with no niche or area of speciality into somebody with a niche or area of speciality. So that's one thing. They're breaking into contracting. A lot of our masterminds, they sign up, appoint me as their mentor, or Marcus or Opa, because they want to get into contracting. That's where all the money is. That's where all the freedom is. That's where the lifestyle is. Okay. No offer after interviews. So once you've decided to change jobs and you basically say, okay, I've made up my mind, I am going to change my job. I'm going to go get a new job. Then what happens is you kind of mentally prepare yourself that you're going to go and find another job. So you kind of stop, working hard. You stop applying yourself. You stop upskilling. You stop training. You stop nurturing your stakeholders and making those strong alliances. You stop, being kind and nice and friendly to your line manager. You kind of, and then you really set yourself up for leaving your job. Now you've got to go and do a lot of things to go and secure another job. People think it's easy. It's not that easy. Let's just run through what you need to do to secure another job if you want to change jobs. You need to make a decision that you are going to leave, and you need to know why you're going to leave. Then you need to go and do some goal setting. What are your ideal career goals? Then you need to determine your unique selling points. What have you got in value and achievements to offer the next company so that you can highlight them or showcase them in your LinkedIn profile and CV. Then you need to redefine yourself in LinkedIn according to your 1-year goals. And you need to go and update your CV regarding your last position and, currently what you're looking for. And then you need to go and find jobs. You need to apply for jobs. You need to secure interviews. You need to prepare for interviews. You need to attend interviews. You need to ace interviews and progress from the first stage to the second stage to the final stage. And then you need to do offer negotiation, because the offer is never in our favor as senior business analysts. It's always in the employee's favor. So we perhaps look at negotiating terms in that. Then when you sign the offer, they do a criminal check, credit report, all these kind of things. You've got to work out your notice period at your current company. You've got to do handover. You've got to submit your corporate laptop back and things like that. And then you've got to ask for written recommendations from a few of your colleagues. Then you need to start your new role, meet new stakeholders, get people to like you, and pass your probation. It's a lot. It's a lot that you need to go through. All right. Is it frozen for anyone else? Okay. No. Refresh it might be. Okay. We're having little talks on the sideline there while I'm talking. Let's carry on and let's have a look what else the poll said. Yeah. Underpaid for my skills and lacking in confidence. Let's just go through that. So underpaid in your skill. So basically what happens is, if you're in a company, let's say you've been there for 3 years. Let's say you joined them as a business analyst. You had 1 or 2 certificates towards your international diploma in business analysis from the BCS, maybe foundation or requirements engineering. Let's say you've had 2 years experience as a business analyst. This is your second rodeo. It's not your first job as a BA. So you're learning a bit about industry experience and things like that as well. Now, when you started, let's say you started as a junior, just a business analyst. Let's say it's NatWest Bank in the United Kingdom, and they pay you £32,000 per annum. Now, when you work there for 3 years and they put you on more courses and you get your full diploma and you learn about banking environment, you learn about all the projects that you're working on, you're familiar with the stakeholders and your line manager and your colleagues and project managers. And now you're getting really productive and you're adding value and you're making differences and you're adding benefits and achievements and things like that. But all you're getting is a 4.5% annual salary. So after 3 years, you're still stuck on around 35,000, but now you're worth maybe 45 or 50,000, according to the amount of work that you do, the knowledge that you have, the skills that you possess, the tools that you've learned, and the value that you're adding. But if you go to your line manager and you say, how about a 30% increase in my salary? It doesn't work like that in large companies. There's a structure and things like that, and you need to do a performance appraisal, and they score you before they give you an increase, and it's not going to be more than 5%. Okay. What if you're not getting any interviews? All right, so that's a really good question. Let me just have a look at this final one. And the final one was saying, what did the final say? Lacking in confidence. So I'll get back to you just now. Let me just talk about lacking of confidence, and then I'll say what happens if I like this. Please keep the questions going. Please keep the questions flowing. So lacking in confidence could be a lot of things. It could be lacking in confidence in your ability to do your job as a business analyst. What do people call that? Imposter syndrome. All right. So maybe you're not really good at business analysis. Then theoretical knowledge, more practical experience, boosting of confidence, maybe your speaking skills, maybe maybe you struggle to articulate yourself professionally with colleagues. Perhaps you can go and join a Toastmasters or start doing some volunteering speaking at some conferences. I know that's what helped me speak a lot. I've also been on LinkedIn Live over 50 times. So it's practice and practice and practice so that everybody can understand you and you communicate well. So maybe you have lack of confidence in your ability to communicate effectively with your stakeholders and your colleagues. All right. Maybe you're lacking in confidence in your ability to develop a high-quality CV that promotes you effectively. Maybe you're lacking in confidence to redevelop yourself on your LinkedIn profile. Maybe you're lacking in confidence to have the ability to find suitable roles. Maybe you're lacking in confidence on your ability to apply for roles. A lot of people finding roles and applying for roles. It's LinkedIn, and it's easy apply. Now, those are not good techniques for finding and strategies for applying, right? Maybe you're lacking in confidence to prepare successfully for an upcoming interview. Maybe you're lacking in confidence of the interview itself. Maybe you're lacking in confidence to ask for more money or readdress the terms and conditions in the offer of employment. Maybe you're lacking in confidence to be able to be proactive and highly productive and quickly onboard and add value right from day one and then ace your probation period. There's a lot of different reasons why people lack confidence. All right, let's go back to the question here as well. So thank you. What if you're not getting any interviews? That is a really good one. So basically, it could be a couple of reasons. Perhaps you're not positioning yourself correctly. So you need to position yourself. If you don't showcase on your CV and your LinkedIn profile your 6 focus points, then nobody's going to know what kind of role that you're after or where you're specializing. A lot of people market themselves and say, I'm a jack of all trades, but then you're a master of none. So it doesn't help in your headline in LinkedIn saying, I'm a business analyst, I'm a Scrum owner, I'm a product owner, I'm a project manager, and and all these kind of things. And then you job hop from one type of role to another type of role, So maybe you don't have enough experience. Maybe you don't have enough industry experience. Maybe you don't have enough certification. Maybe you don't have enough education, a degree or something like that. Perhaps you're not applying for enough jobs. So our gold mentoring program in pillar 3 out of the 4 pillars, our mentees, they apply for 180 jobs in 2 weeks. It takes them about 12 to 15 hours. The goal is to secure 5 to 8 interviews. And from those 5 to 8 interviews, the goal is to prepare well and do your interview rehearsals with constructive criticism by me, and then to get 2 or 3 offers. So there could be a lot of reasons why you're not securing interviews, but it's something that we can definitely look into. So if you want to have a free 30-minute Zoom session with me from the comfort of your own home office, I also work from home, then I offer a career strategy session and a career assessment session. We'll get into that in a little while. All right. I see the questions pouring in. That's fantastic, but I'm a bit nervous about running out of time. Coming from Dutch heritage, we're spot on. We're always on time, so I want to end at 1 o'clock. I don't want to go over by 10 minutes or half an hour. I value your time. And so therefore, let's just try and cover, but I will try and get to all of those questions. All right. So let's talk a little bit about me. Who am I? So I just come back from a workshop. I facilitated a workshop at BA and Beyond with Philippe and Wouter. They paid for my flights and my hotel. I had to pay for Gordon, my son, who turned 13. My son became a teenager. While we were in Holland, he got to utilize his Dutch passport, which we successfully received last year. He met his family from my mother's side. He met a lot of my cousins and things like that. So it was great for Gordon 𝐿𝐿 to come with and to see Europe for the first time. So that was really good for him. We went to Belgium, France, and the Netherlands and the UK. And there is a picture of me at BA and Beyond at Mechelen in Belgium on the 18th of May, where I had a workshop. And the workshop went down very well. And then Gordon also got his little signboard, and he was also able to attend. So I'm looking forward to Father's Day. Father's Day is now upcoming to on Sunday. Sunday we got a Father's Day. All right. Okay, keep the questions coming, people. Please, I like this. I like this, especially this response here to the question. So you remember the question, what happens if you're not getting interviews? So that it looks like I answered it quite well. So not apply to as many. Exactly. It's a numbers game. So basically, if you apply for 10 jobs, you're probably not going to get an interview. If you apply for 180 jobs, you're probably going to get a few interviews. So it's a numbers game. So what does that mean? Tailoring your CV is out the window. If you're going to apply for 180 jobs and tailor your CV, it's going to take you months. So that's not on. But we've got strategies on how to do this. Let's have a call, book yourself in for a session, and we can have a chat. All right. So that's me at BA and Beyond in the Netherlands. I also had a speaking for half an hour where I talked about the 6 focus points to quickly accelerate your career. All right, let's see, where are we now? Okay, so a little bit about me. I've been, so I'm turning 62 next Thursday. I've got 43 years IT working experience, right? So I've worked on 5 of the continents. I've had 25 jobs in my past. 15 of them have been contracts. 8 of the contracts have been in the UK. I'm a certified senior business analyst contractor. So I did my BCS. There's 4 certificates towards your international diploma. I did them in person at the Knowledge Academy in November, December 2015 and January of 2016. So I'm certified for a long time. And then I've been a practicing business analyst. It's always good to appoint a mentor that has been through it already, that has done that has, certified, done business analysis, pivot into contracting, pivot into my area of speciality. I'm also a certified project manager, and I founded this company in 2019. So we celebrated our 7th birthday recently. So I'm a mentor to business analysts. I've also been a university lecturer. I had 42 first-year students. I taught them business skills. I had to write my entire own curriculum, teach them all free of charge. I do a lot of things free of charge. It's not about the money for me. I've had so many speaking engagements for the IIBA where I've traveled all over the show and done workshops and talked. Sometimes I've even paid them to have an exhibit and to exhibit the BA Masterminds company, right? And I'm the founder of BA Mastermind. So without further ado, what is this BA Mastermind? So the acronym is, it's Business Analyst Masterminds Limited, a registered company at Companies House in the United Kingdom, but we just refer to it as BAM with an exclamation mark. So do I have a BAM mug? Yes, I do. Let's show you the BAM mug. So that's the logo there. BAM. All right. So let's find out a little bit about this company that I'm BAMing on about. Founded in 2019. So I basically help business analysts secure higher paying positions quickly, right? So we got lots of methods, lots of techniques, lots of strategies. I've been doing this for a while. So I'm really refined at what I do. I've had over 3,000 live mentoring sessions on Zoom in the last 7 years. I work from home. I'm busy all day. I'm on Zoom helping people, just giving to the BA community. We've got copper, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, impact. We've got a whole bunch of programs. The 2 main ones are bronze and gold. We've had over 1,000 people register on bronze. I've lost count. It's probably closer to 1,100 by now. We just had Daniel registered. I think Daniel's on the call. Are you there, Daniel? He said he was going to attend. He just registered. He is our 136th gold mentee. We launched gold in August 2021. We're currently on version 7 of the gold mentoring program. No theory, it's results driven. We're also in Canada. Marcus Udakang, South Africa, Opalaka. They both work now for BA Masterminds as mentor and career strategists. We personalize your roadmap or your blueprint for every single student, okay? And then lifetime career support. So once you sign up for gold, you get free support for life. Also, my golds and my VIPs are on WhatsApp. We've got a 4-hour turnaround to answer any questions. And that's how it is. Let's have a quick look here and let's just see some of these questions here again. Maybe we can cover that. Oh, we got a lot of questions. Let me just go through this and then let's get stuck into the questions because I think that's what everybody wants, right? We all want to have some answers to these questions. So breaking into contracting, all right? They want to break into contracts, but struggle to secure their first contract role. Okay, so this is a really common problem now. With a permanent role, you don't have to hit the ground running. You can take 5 days to onboard. You can take ages to get up to speed. You've got a probation period and all these things. You know, usually there's a month waiting period before you can start your permanent role. They expect you to be there 3 years or more. So basically, you're going to be there a long time. Contracting, totally different story. So we've got contractors. Our record so far is I've mentored Inam. Inam, when he joined Gold, he was on £560 per day. Now he's on £1,375 a day outside IR35, making a killing, working fully remote. I've got Philip on 1,150. I've got some students on 1,000, 960, 900, 875, 840, 850. So a lot of our students are making a lot of money. So there is a lot of money in contracting. But basically, you can't be overqualified because then they're getting value for money. But you need to hit the ground running. And usually you get thrown in on the deep end. And usually everything is about fighting fires. They've waited too long, and now they desperately need a BA or a senior BA to go and help them with their work. And sometimes it's in the middle of the project, or you've got 2 or 3 projects to work on. So it's very different and challenging environment to hit the ground running. That's why it's very important to have a mentor by your side to guide you with lifetime free career support. Should you get stuck anywhere, you don't want to go and ask your colleagues, your friends, or your families for support because they all think you should be knowing what you're doing. All right. So it helps if I select the active screen before I push my down arrow button. All right. Why? Because you position yourself as a permie and not a contractor, right? Very different. You need to immediately show value. What does this mean? Low-hanging fruit. Where can the company save money? Where can the company improve processes? Where can the company improve customer journey, user experience? These things that you see when you dive deep into a project and you can immediately highlight and make some effective changes. This is what we contractors do. As a permanent member of staff, you're not that driven when you do all of these kind of things. All right. So where to find the low-hanging fruit? Yeah. You need some contracting experience. So it really helps if you come from a consulting background, because a consulting firm like PwC, Deloitte, TCS, Capgemini, they place you at their valued clients for an hourly or daily rate. So already, if you've been placed at a few client sites, you have some domain experience. You have some stakeholder engagement management experience with different types of stakeholders, different political beliefs, religious beliefs, men and women, young and old, people with thick Scottish and Irish accents. You've got some exposure. So that is a good middle step to go from perm into contracting, right? Is to go through the consulting route. Yeah. There are 3 ways to secure your next role: permanent, contracting, or consultant. One of them is the advertised job market. All the jobs are advertised on LinkedIn, Reed, Indeed, JobServe, Total Jobs, all those job sites. The other one is the hidden job market. Now, 70% of the BA contract roles in the UK are taken up through the hidden job market. So the things you see on LinkedIn, the jobs that you see on Reed and Indeed, that's the rubbish. That's the bottom of the barrel. That's the jobs that nobody wants. So you need to be able to tap into the hidden contract job market, right? Anybody want to guess what the third and best way is of securing your next role? Let's have it in the comments, please. It's 3 words. All right, I'll give you a little clue. What is the best way to secure your next role? The one way is the advertised job market. The other one is the hidden job market, where the jobs are not advertised, but it's word of mouth. It's somebody that you know, somebody that you've worked with before, a recruiter or a colleague. But what is the third and best method to secure your next role? That's what we focus on heavily in the gold and in the bronze mentoring program. So you might have the skills to go into the contract market, but you're just stuck in this permanent role and you're not sure how to pivot and you haven't got confidence and things like that. All right, so that's one of the challenges. The second challenge is exactly like 𝐁𝐿𝐴 was saying. What happens if we don't get any interviews? Oh no, she was asking about no interviews. What happens if you get interviews but no offers? So that could be a lot of reasons. Let's just go through, right? So if I could just say one of them, so perhaps you weren't suitable for the role. So if you see a job advertised and you read the roles and responsibilities that the successful applicant needs to do when they secure their contract, is to be able to, work through the job description. And if you can't do, let's say 70% or 80% of the roles and responsibilities, don't apply for the job. Let's say it's as is, to be, use case, epics, technical documentation, requirements gathering, workshop facilitation, brainstorming sessions, all these kind of things. If you can't do 70 or 80% of the roles on the job description, then don't apply for the role, because you won't get the job, somebody else will. So you're wasting your time, the recruiter's time, and the interviewer's time. So it's a lot about, are you actually suitable for the role? Yeah. Then you need proper interview structure, a couple of interview rehearsals, because the more you practice, the better you get at it. When they ask you to provide examples of, tell us about a time that you dealt with a difficult stakeholder, and you actually fudge the whole thing. Basically, if you make one big mistake in the interview, it's gone, it's out, So you really need to practice. So we spend a lot of time in the Gold Mentoring program focusing on your interviews. We've got a silver nugget, golden bullet, all these different strategies that we have to ace the interview once you've secured it. All right. Also, lack of measurable outcomes. So a lot of people in the CVs, I've reviewed well over 1,000 CVs in the last 7 years. We offer that as a service, a free detailed CV review with ATS compliance checks. We'll share the link with you just now as well. But basically, a lot of people just list the roles and responsibilities. I did this, I did this, I did this. I know this tool, I know this tool, I know this tool. I know this technique, this methodology. I've done it before. But they don't show the value that they've added, the difference that they've made, the benefits that they've realized, and the achievements. And if there's some achievements, they say 20% improvement in customer satisfaction or something, thumbs up. We business analysts, we don't work in 20%, 30%, 40%. 71.73% increase in sales for the financial year 2025. With how did you measure it? Before and after, financial documents. So measurable outcomes. We need to know that. Okay. Confidence. We don't need to go into that again. But if you don't have enough confidence in your interview to promote yourself effectively, you lost already. And you need to communicate your value. What value do you offer to the company should they choose you as their new person that they're going to work with? All right. Okay, moving on to the next one. Let's go and have a look. If you're underpaid for your skills, you're worth more than you currently earn, right? So if you know that you're worth more, then perhaps you're not positioning yourself correctly. You don't understand the market. You don't think, I ask everybody when they jump on the call, what do you think you're worth? And a lot of people undervalue themselves. They really don't value themselves correctly. And that's why if you value yourself at 45,000, they will offer you 42,000 and you'll take 42,000. If you value yourself at 60,000, the chances are that you're going to say no to 55,000. So it's upskilling, investing in yourself, gaining experience, choosing your niche, getting theoretical knowledge and practical experience, and getting more value and making a difference in your organization. All right. You need a really powerful CV. Okay, we know that. And your LinkedIn profile must be, okay, so Elaine, is it? No, that's not Elaine. Ibera. Okay, we've got an answer here, referrals. Remember I said, what is the third best way? So a referral is somebody that you know, otherwise they wouldn't refer you. So that's the hidden job market. Okay, so that is one. That is the hidden job market. It's not the answer I'm looking for. Advertised job market, hidden job market, number 3. What's number 3, please? Sorry if I talk fast, but that's just how I am. And I'm sure you can all keep up. If not, you can watch the recording afterwards. Push pause, consume the information, and then push play again. All right. Okay, again, outcomes, experience. Oops. So you could leave money on the table. That's what a lot of people do. They undervalue themselves. They don't know their value. They don't know the current value. And so they accept a lower offer than what they're actually worth. All right. Okay. So next one, lacking in confidence. Okay. Even though you can articulate yourself very well, you've had senior positions, you've got a lot of experience, you've got theoretical knowledge, right? But you still lack the confidence. So perhaps why? Perhaps you've been thrown in the deep end. Perhaps you're a business analyst and they're just giving you senior business analysts to work to do. And now you're trying to do this work and maybe there's no a business analysis community of excellence in your company that somebody's arranged, and basically now you're on your own. So you feel like you're, fishing on your own. It's better to be part of a group of business analysts in a large company that you can rely on the lead BA, the senior BA, to help you, to answer questions, to peer review your work, things like that. Okay, so a lot of people suffer from imposter syndrome. How do you overcome that? Theoretical knowledge, practical experience. That's all you need, okay? Career strategy. So you can't just be in your job and think, I'll have this job forever. My job's nice and safe and secure. A lot of people, they don't want to pivot into contracting, and I ask them the pros and cons, and they say job security. I like the job security of a permanent job. Out of those 3,000 calls, how many of those calls haven't I had where people say, the company is restructuring, I've been offered a redundancy package? That's a permanent job. I've had people at companies for over 10 years that are then restructuring, or they've been bought out, or there's no money, or the projects have finished, but there's no work. And now they want to restructure and they want to offer you a retrenchment package and maybe pay you a month if you're lucky, 3 months. Now you're out of work. And if you haven't done, work for 10 years, you're stuck. You need to redo your CV. You've got no skills in interviewing, all these kind of things. All right, I better get a move on here. I see we might be going over time. I still want to talk about this exciting special offer. Okay. Previous setbacks. Okay, that's going to damage your confidence a lot. Okay. Theoretical knowledge in business analysis is super important. Prepare. You need to prepare yourself for your work, your first day at work. Prepare yourself for interviews. Okay. So that's the end of that slide. So the truth, okay, most of you don't have a skills problem. You know your skills, right? The problem is you don't know how to position yourself correctly. All right. You don't know how to make yourself more visible in your company and on the job site portals and in the hidden job market. Okay. And I'm still waiting for the answer for that last technique to find jobs. A lot of people have a confidence problem, a strategy problem. So you might know what you want, okay, but you don't know how to get you there. Okay. All right. So strategy, you need a strategy. That's what we need. Okay. Let's talk about a little bit about the Gold Mentoring Program and how this could help you. So what do we focus on? We focus on career clarity. So we do goal setting. We do unique selling points and unique selling proposition. We improve your confidence to somebody lacking in confidence in one or more area to be confident, and then we take you right through to be seen as the person of authority within your organization or when you're being interviewed. It's all about positioning, how to position yourself to become visible. All right, let's talk about visible. So the best way to secure your next job is to be headhunted. That's the number 3 way. Advertised job market, hidden job market, headhunted. To be consistently headhunted throughout your career for your education, certification, knowledge, skills, domain experience, AI, your niche, all these things. You need to be headhunted for those. That's the best way, and that's through visibility. All right, so we focus on that. Interview success as well, negotiating the contract, and career strategies. Okay, plus a lot more. All right, sustainable career growth. So we also look at your 3-year goals. Where do you want to be in your life and your career in 3 years? And we map you out towards that. I had to count this. I had to count the rows because my valued assistant, Petro, she did this for me. I'm going to stop calling her my valued assistant. She is, but she's actually the managing director. But she went and put all these images here, and it's 10 rows and 10 columns. That's 100. So there are 100 of our previous masterminds that you can see right there. This is their after photos. So part of the Gold Mentoring Program. And the bronze is we redevelop your LinkedIn profile, your CV, your LinkedIn background image, and your professional profile photo. So this is the after photo of a lot of our students. Do you recognize anybody there? Okay, maybe you know somebody and you're like, wow, they're a student of Mark Bruins. Okay, now this is just something that I'm going to pop on the screen, and I'm going to have a quick look at the questions while everybody looks at this. Let's just have a look at a question that everybody would want to know the answer for. All right. Okay. So Until I started tailoring every single, you cannot tailor all your CVs. We do tailor CVs, but according to a strategy. You can't just tailor your CV and apply for a job. There's no time for that. And there's no reason for that. All right, so that was a good one. Thank you for that, Ebere. Okay, so here's somebody else who's tailoring each application. Wrong. Okay, not what I advise at all. Okay, how do you overcome imposter syndrome? Ebere, I suggest you set up a call with me. Let's have a discussion because that could be quite a long time. I do know the answer, but I'd like to go through it in detail. All right, what about this one? What if you're getting interviews but not getting the job? No feedback provided, neither. All right. I also suggest, Miriam, let's hop on a call and let's discuss that. There's various reasons why you're not getting that. Sorry, I can't answer all these questions as promised. A session with you, I need assistance. Underpaid BA want to change, right? Wonderful. Malibu gang. At the end, I'm going to show you some links where you can book a call with me, and that's it. So I'm sure you've had time to read that one now. Okay, so basically what we offer is we offer quite a few things. All right, so we offer a free 15-minute breakthrough session on Zoom with me to get through an issue. If there's one big thing, challenge that you just need to overcome, to break through, to get through to the other side, we offer the breakthrough session. Just remember, these sessions are offered in Canada with Marcus and South Africa with Opa as well. If you do want me on these sessions, you can book me as well. So Opa's got the .co.za domain. Marcus Udokang has got the .com domain. I've got the .co.uk for the UK business analysts. So just make sure which domain that you go to as well. It doesn't really matter. We all talk to each other, but we offer 15-minute breakthrough session on Zoom at a time and date of your convenience. A 30-minute career strategy session, a 30-minute career assessment session, a 1-hour gold discovery session to tell you everything about gold. They're all free. We offer a free detailed CV review with advice, specific advice on where to improve your CV. We offer a gap analysis, and we offer a 10-day challenge where you can go and do a 10-day challenge. Okay. Somebody are also interested in contracting. Wonderful. Book a call with me. Let's have a chat. All right. Let's go through the next slide. Let's have a look here. So this is the gap analysis. This is the link over here. Petro, can you please paste the link into the comment section? And this is what we're going to determine. So how it works is, this could be a good time for me to actually switch screens. And is it this screen? Let's just have a look at which screen it is. It's this one over here. All right, found it. Here we go. Okay, so this is our gold web page. So it's co.uk/gold. All right. And basically, you can go and find out everything about the gold mentoring program here. It's 4 pillars with 2 stages in each pillar. Here's some success stories. You can go forwards, you can go backwards, you can hold on one of them by just clicking and holding. All right. This is our approach, some experience. We plan to double your income when you pivot from perm to contracting. A bit of the experience. You can book a call with me right here in the gold page. You can take a free sneak peek, which is taking a look inside the gold mentoring program. Lots about me, all things like that. Our social media links. There's a lot of information over here. If you click on About Us, then you can go and see a little bit about myself. Here is Petro, our managing director. There is Marcus, who's our regional director in Canada. There's Opa Laka. Many of you have probably seen Opa before as well. This is the sneak peek. So in the sneak peek, if you find out about gold, you push play, and this is a video. Everything about the gold mentoring program. Then we have testimonial collections. All of these are 10-minute testimonials, and you can watch a 90-second extract from Andre, Moyo, Tando, Funke, Frank, Philip, carry on. And you can actually start the program without enrolling, without appointing me as your mentor. You can go and do 4 of the stage 1, the mindset tools. You can go and video, what to do, why to do it, and how to do it. You can download completed assignments to answer questions and to inspire you to complete yours better. You download your assignment in Word, complete it, and upload it, and then mark it as complete. And this is the one that you all want. I see Petro has pasted it in there. So this is the gap analysis. The career assessment. So we're going to do a career assessment on you. And it's if you like BPMN and Visio, then you can see exactly all the steps that we take, all for free. And then basically, these are the steps if you don't like BPMN, what happens after the career assessment. Book your call. You can book it here straight from the link. Okay, and then the last one that I want to go through, I'm not going to share that now, but we're going to go through that last page just now. Let's see where we are on the slides. Okay, wonderful. We talked about the gap analysis and the desired outcome. And then what we look at is we look at bridging the gap. So once we know your as is and your to be, your current state and your future state, then we can actually bridge the gap. And we can say, this is what we need. This is what you need to do, to perform, to complete, to upskill on, whatever it is, to get you from where you are now, in pain probably, not happy with your job, not happy with your salary or your confidence, and then get you to a place where you want to be. We lay out all the steps. That becomes the blueprint for the Gold Mentoring Program. Okay, get started with a gap analysis. Book yourself in for a career assessment. You know where that link is. It's on the gap analysis page. Sorry, it's on the career assessment page. Petra's just pasted it in. Has she pasted it in? No. Can you paste in, Petra, the gap analysis? Can you please paste in, Petra, the web page for the assessment, the one that I just shared? All right, great stuff. And then optional, you can also then submit your CV for the free CV review. Petra has pasted that as well. There's some of the products and services that we offer at some of these questions. All right, so interested in contracting, that's fantastic. That's something that I specialize in. Go ahead and book yourself in, or go to the birthday page and start doing all those, clicking on all those links, learning about me, learning about BA Masterminds, learning about the Gold Mentoring Program, doing the sneak peek. There's a lot you can do without having to make a call with me. All right, let's go through to the next question. How newly graduated can get a junior BA role? All right, so that is a really good question, and I thank you for asking that. So there's prerequisites to joining the Gold Mentoring Program. Number one, you need to have a degree or a diploma of 2 or 3 or 4 years. Number two, you need at least 1 year paid working experience as a business analyst. Number three, no visa issues, no passport issues. So basically, bronze doesn't have those entry requirements. That's only for gold. So if you want to get into business analysis, you've probably got some transferable skills. And if you've got some transferable skills, you need to showcase them on your CV and your LinkedIn profile. So you'll need to, re-envisage, reimagine, redevelop yourself on LinkedIn, and then recreate a CV in alignment with business analysis with transferable skills. There's a couple of methods you can break into it. Let's talk about the career ladder for a business analyst. You start off coming out of university, not knowing much about business analysis, and then you pay a company money to teach you business analysis, and you become an intern. And then once you've completed your internship, then you're a junior business analyst. Once you gain about a year experience, then you're a business analyst. Once you gain about 3 or more years experience and have you got a few certificates going, then you can become a senior business analyst. Usually you have to be older than 28 to be a senior business analyst. And then when you manage other business analysts, you become a lead business analyst. And then you get a program with many projects and work streams underneath that. And we business analysts, we report to the project manager who's in charge of all the projects. But all the project managers report into the program director or the program manager. And a principal BA reports to the program director right at the top. Takes all the requirements for business analysis and farms it out to all the different projects and their relevant colleagues who are business analysts under those various legs. And then they separate and they dissipate all that business analysis roles and responsibilities and tasks and duties that need to be performed. and they're accountable for all the deliverables. Okay, so how does a graduate, junior? So if you've already done your internship and you maybe have one certificate and a bit of experience, maybe in a controlled environment, not in the real world. Now what you could do is to go from an intern, you can go, so basically if you're an intern, you're paying a company money to get experience. The next one up from there is if you don't pay the company money, but the company doesn't pay you money neither. And that's called a volunteer. So start off with an internship. If you want a list of companies that are available that offer internships, we've got a long list. I think it's exhaustive. I think all the internships companies around the UK or that focus on UK students, we've got them. We know who they are. We've got their contact details and things like that. We know people who have done internships before, so we can refer you to people that you can discuss that. So once you've done your internship, then you do a volunteering. Once you've done a volunteering, then after about 3 months or so, you can start as a junior BA. Once you're a junior BA, I suggest strongly that you get your BCS International Diploma. Let me know if you want a quote. We offer 72% discount, huge discount, because we've sent 43 of our students there already. So we get a really good price with our customer manager at the authorized training provider. So let me know if you want a quotation for the BCS diploma, but you can get that in 10 days. It's online, comfort of your own home, multiple choice, 60% to pass. But that's how I started. That's how I learned. That's how I learned my business analysis skills. So get your BCS International Diploma in Business Analysis and then convert that theoretical knowledge you've learned in the classroom into practical experience on the job. And therefore, you will gain theoretical knowledge and practical experience, which is the only thing that you need to do the business analysis work. And once you've done junior BA for about a year, redevelop your CV, redevelop your LinkedIn profile, contact us for bronze. It's £297. It's been that for 2 years. It's version 7. We haven't increased the price for ages. When we do increase the price, I think it's going to go to $497. So it's still $297, full 14-day money-back guarantee. co.uk/bronze. And you can even invest online, but you can have a free call with me. We'll discuss bronze. So then you're going to reinvent yourself on LinkedIn and CV as a powerful business analyst. I'll find transferable skills. We'll add up some more months so that it looks like you've got at least a year experience as a business analyst. And then you can apply for jobs, attend interviews, and secure jobs as a business analyst. I hope that answered your question, Fariel. Let's see if there are any more questions. I think we've just about covered all the questions. So that's really good. Maybe we should go into one of these longer questions. Let's just have a look. No refresh at my, okay, that was a while ago. Okay, sorry. Yeah, please don't tailor your applications. And pivoting, how do you overcome imposter syndrome, especially if it's your first BA role after pivoting from a different industry and career? Really good question, Evera. Let's answer that one. All right. So basically, if you appoint a mentor like myself, I'm not saying you need to appoint me. There's other mentors out there as well. Research, do due diligence, see which one's got good programs, which offer lifetime free support, which let you talk to them directly on WhatsApp, LinkedIn, emails, and things like that. That's what I do. And then basically get them in your corner. So now it's a team that they have to deal with, right? And then if you've got any issues at work, you come to me and you say, Mark, how do I overcome this issue? How do I do this? How do I do this? Okay. So a different industry. So perhaps you've got imposter syndrome because every industry has got industry knowledge. That's why it's very difficult to break into banking or financial services if you don't have any previous banking or financial services experience. The other industries, they're okay, but like 45% of the BA contract roles in the UK are still taken up by the banking, financial services, insurance, and outsurance industry. So a large part of the contract roles are there, and to break into a different industry is quite challenging. So without knowing which industry you're trying to break into, so basically what you need to do is you need to surround yourself with support. So internally within the company, find other business analysts and find out which of them have got that industry knowledge, the industry that you're in now, and lean on them, rely on them for support. Remember, it's a give and take. situation. So when you find that person that's got that industry knowledge by looking at their LinkedIn profile, after finding them in the global address book in Outlook in your company, you go and find them on LinkedIn, and then you go and see if they've got industry knowledge, how much BA experience, then give them some information, give them some knowledge, help them before you request something in return. Okay, I hope that answered that question. Let's have a look where the next one is. Not applied to many. Yeah, you need to apply to a lot of jobs. Okay, let's have a look at this question because I don't think there's any more questions. All right, so let's focus on this question. Thank you, Miriam. What if you are getting interviews but not getting the job? All right, it's usually down to your interview. Because when you apply for a job, you apply with your CV, it should have the URL of your LinkedIn profile at the top. So the viewer or the recipient of your job application when you're applying for a job clicks on your LinkedIn profile, has a look at your LinkedIn, and then they see, can you actually do the job as per the job description? And if they doubt it in any way, they probably won't put you forward for consideration for an interview with the interviewers. Or they're going to give you a call. They're going to call you up and say, hi, Miriam, you've applied for this job. I just want to make sure that you do have this knowledge. Have you done 2B? Have you done technical documentation? Have you done non-functional requirements gathering with traceability? They will deep dive into something that's, quite the core of the role. And then they know that you can do the job, and then you get the job interview. It's very rare you're going to secure a job interview and you can't do the job. So when you've got the interview, there's two very important things that you need to convey during your interview. Okay. Number one, you have to get all the interviews to like you. Because if they don't like you, why would they want to work with you? Why would they want to give you the job? All right. So you've got to be professional, likable, on time, dress smart, good lighting, clear audio, don't let your video hang. All these kind of things you have to present, because usually we BAs are working in a hybrid environment. So at least one day a week, you're working from home. You're interviewing from home. You need to provide proof that you can work remotely, effectively and professionally, and you do that in your interview. Don't be dark, have good lighting. Okay, we must see your eyeballs. If you wear glasses, no reflection. Okay, don't have the indoor light on with a big glow on your dome. Right? There's a lot of things about getting them to like you and being professional. But more importantly, you need to convince them that you can do the job as per the job description. How do you do that? Preparation. You've got the job description. You know what you can do and not do in your CV. And there is a great technique that you can use that we teach in our Gold Mentoring program to ace the interviews. You need to prepare for that. Okay, so that's the most important that you need to grasp, Miriam. No feedback provided. You need to push for feedback. If it's direct with the end client through the HR department, no agent involved, sometimes it's a bit of a struggle to get feedback because you can't really be that pushy. But if you're going through a recruitment agent or a recruiter, push them and push them and push them and push them until you get feedback. You want feedback. Why? You've spent or invested a lot of time perhaps tailoring your CV, applying for the job, preparing for the interview, getting ready for the interview, attending the interview, maybe having a second stage interview. The least that they can do as an interviewer is provide you with feedback why you were unsuccessful in your application, right? So push them and push them and push them. They've got to give you a reason. All right. Let's see if there's any more questions. No, I'm going to end it right there. We are ending on, we still got a bit of time to go, but that's fine. Thank you all. We look forward to seeing you in our next session. If you're watching the recording, keep asking, keep putting questions in the comments. We do revisit and we will answer your question. Have a great day further. Nice seeing you all again. Goodbye.